It's been a busy week in the state capitol with announcements regarding agricultural policy proposals and funding. Jordan Lamb is an attorney and lobbyist with the Welch Group Public Affairs in Madison, representing about 8 agricultural groups. We start with the governor's latest announcement. Governor Tony Evers released his agricultural budget priorities for the biennium, totaling about $80 million. Jordan tells us what stood out to her, items that already have agricultural backing or that can likely get bipartisan support to pass in the budget.
So we're hopeful that they will get bipartisan support for the producer-led conservation programs that the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection runs. These include producer-led watershed grants, commercial nitrogen optimization grant program, and the cover crop insurance premium rebate program. Those 3 programs encourage conservation from the farm up, and it has worked so well for Wisconsin. Lots of changes, improvements in conservation, and it's great to see support for those programs, again, proposed in Governor Evers' budget.
His budget priorities definitely touched on conservation, clean water. We also saw some themes like farmer mental health and supply chain improvements.
Farmer mental health is always important, and it is good to see the governor proposing an increase in farmer mental health funding for the Department of Agriculture. We also, as an Ag Coalition, believe strongly in supporting state supply chain. There are a number of initiatives that are aimed at that. One of them is the proposal to also address food insecurity, so combining support for Wisconsin commodities and support for hungry communities. So the food insecurity and initiatives that drive the purchase of Wisconsin-grown and produced food into Wisconsin's food bank and food pantries is so critical for communities and our state food supply chain.
We've listed the governor's priorities at MidwestFarmReport.com for people to look at, and it is a lengthy list and a lot of dollar signs. What is the likelihood of all of it, some of it, making it through the legislature when we are in a divided government?
Yes, so divided government is a challenge across industry sectors. I think, though, one of the things that makes agriculture unique is our ability to bridge that gap in situations like this. Divided government isn't new to this session. This is what we've had since Governor Evers' initial election, and we have gotten excellent budgets for agriculture ever since. So I'm very hopeful that there will be bipartisan support for our conservation programs, for our meat processing and dairy processing grant programs, for our food export programs from Wisconsin, our local supply chain, and our food insecurity initiatives. We've had very good success with that in the past, and I hope it will continue in 2025.
Another success story of the past was the Agricultural Road Improvement Program, otherwise known as ARIP, and they've just announced the second round of awardees for that money, and the application rate was crazy.
It was. We are astounded at the applications that we got. So the legislature and the governor provided $150 million in the last budget, and the state of Wisconsin received over $500 million in applications for road projects, about 299 applicants from local governments across Wisconsin, aiming to increase and improve local roads that support agriculture. It's wonderful. And from an agriculture perspective, we would love to see that program continue in this budget as well.
Again, another thing we've got posted at MidwestFarmReport.com. People can check out the awardees there, but what's the turnaround time typically from when the check gets sent out to when ground gets broken?
That I don't know. The road project timing could be a little bit lengthy. Be patient. I'm not sure this is the first time that the state has awarded these grants, so it might be a little bit slow coming out of the gates. This time they just announced the awards today, so we'll see. But hopefully we will get those roads on an improvement process that will continue to drive economies across rural Wisconsin.
I didn't see ARIP in the governor's budget proposal.
Governor Evers has only released a preview of his agriculture budget, so that actually would be in the Department of Transportation budget if it is included. So I would assume that those sort of additional previews across other agencies will be released slowly up until now, from now until February 18th when the governor delivers his budget address.
Is that a priority for the clients you're working on behalf?
100%. The agriculture groups would absolutely love to see the ARIP program funded again in this budget. As evidenced by the number of applications that we received, the need is still very much there
Finally, Jordan, I know you're only just over a month into this session, to this new session, but there are new faces in the legislature. Just give us a sense of what your work has looked like already.
We actually started meeting the new legislators when they were candidates over the summer. So one of the things that the Ag Coalition worked on in the summer of 2024 into the fall was the Engage with Ag education series. And we did a series of 13 farm and agribusiness tours across Wisconsin to try to meet all of the new people that were coming to Madison to represent constituents from across the state. You're right, we have 37 new legislators in the legislature this session, and we are slowly introducing them to us and our issues and what Wisconsin agriculture is about. It's busy, but we're excited to have them.
Attorney Jordan Lamb is a voice for several agricultural groups on Capitol Hill. She's a lobbyist with the Welch Group Public Affairs. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Stephanie Hoff.